We started Intercom with a mission to make internet business personal. Today is all about sharing our new vision for the future. We're defined by a DNA that's excited to invent and create and build new things. We always have been. We're technology nerds and dorks and geeks. And it's now time to play and embrace with the times. Automation is coming, it's real. We're going to take it completely, make it our own, and help the world appreciate it. I mean, whenever you put yourself out in the world, it's scary. This is a big one for us. We spent almost a year on it, and it's been in beta 4 months, and it's delivering real value. It's an awesome product.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We really, really appreciate it. So, Intercom's done events before. In fact, we've done no less than 2 world tours where we traveled the world and spoke at dozens of cities. We spoke about building products, but we never actually spoke about our products before. Well, tonight we're going to change that. We're going to touch on some of the context and the history behind starting Intercom. We're going to touch on our vision, the mission that got us to where we are today. And we're going to talk about the coming of bots and automation and how we're reckoning with that and evolving our vision, and indeed how that will represent the next chapter for our company. Finally, we're going to show you what we've been building for this new future, and we're going to release a brand new product. So first, the history. Thank you. We can all do that. New product. Over the past century, there's been a small handful of new technologies that pretty much revolutionized how businesses and companies connect. Technologies like the phone and email and the World Wide Web were all transformative for those who use them. For the first time, phones let people reach out to their customers at great distances and instantly, in real time. For the first time, email let companies connect with their customers at great scale and in targeted ways, sometimes personal ways, and pretty much for free. And for the first time, the World Wide Web let companies be open for business around the globe and around the clock without any extra staff. But as these channels became more popular and the benefits from simply having them started to wane, businesses started to exploit them, much to the great detriment of the consumer. There's a reason we don't answer calls from unknown numbers anymore. I really do not know why anyone would do that. And there's a reason we don't read much of the email we're sent anymore. Or maybe that's just me, and apologies to all my team. And in around 2010, near the end of the growth curve for the World Wide Web, connecting with businesses online as a consumer started to make for a pretty crappy, spammy, and a transactional experience. The channel was over-optimized, maybe even dehumanized. It was rare, for example, that you could actually connect with a person, and pretty frequent that when you tried to, you'd receive that warm, fuzzy, delightful reply that sounded something like, "Dear valued customer, thanks for your inquiry. You are ticket number 5053. Have you read our FAQ? Your ticket will automatically close in 10 days. It was around this time we were starting to think about something new. We were thinking about Intercom. And myself and the Intercom co-founders were in Ireland at the time. We met a guy called Colin Harmon. He had a coffee shop called 3FE, stood for Third Floor Espresso. Colin can claim credit for being the first to bring hipster coffee to Ireland. And while we came for the coffee, we stayed for Colin. We got to see his appreciation for us in the smile on his face. We got to share in the passion he had for his craft. And because of that relationship we built with him, we found ourselves coming back more often, happily paying whatever he wanted for his overpriced coffee, drinking way too much coffee, and referring friends and forgiving mistakes and giving feedback, all things any business trying to create sustainability and profitability would want. We were running a different business at the time, another internet company, and we had thousands of customers, but maybe met 20 of them, maybe 30, incidentally at conferences and whatnot too. We had nothing like the relationship with our customers that Colin had with us. And we started to ask ourselves, was that even possible for online businesses? We came to the belief that, yes, it was, but that the tools that were available at the time were the things holding people back, getting in their way. We came to see that there was great, great room for improvement, and that there was an opportunity to create tools that could much better support human connection. And so our relationship with Colin became this fascinating and super valuable lens through which we could start to find new opportunities in the market. It was with these insights that we created Intercom and set about with a mission to make internet business personal. To do this, we innovated on a whole bunch of stuff. For example, when you would reach out to a customer as a business, we made it so that it would always have a reply address. They could always reply to you. No more do not reply. And when they got your message, they'd see your face and your name. And similarly, when they replied to you, you'd see who they were too. So everyone kind of knew each other, and there was some familiarity. It was through these innovations and perhaps 100 other small ones too that we created a very differentiated product and experienced tremendous growth. We now have over 30,000 paying customers, some incredible companies, some of which are in the audience here tonight, ranging, thank you. Thank you. Ranging from small to not small. We have cool stats, like for example, in some recent Y Combinator batches, 85% of anyone who had any kind of messenger used Intercom. And we also get to call companies, bigger companies, tech companies like Atlassian, and bigger non-tech companies like Sotheby's, our customers as well. And the awesome thing is that the benefits they're seeing from using this tool are quite measurable. For example, sales teams are seeing an 82% increase in the conversion rates with their leads when they talk to customers on their sites. Or marketing teams can double the open rates of their messages when they use Intercom to send messages with the right time and context and in a personalized way. Or support teams have up to half their response times when they use Intercom's more fluid, flexible, and lightweight way of connecting. We were the first to champion these changes in the market at the time, and over these past 7 years participated in a massive shift in the industry. Big public companies made big pivots to adopting these types of practices. And perhaps even 100 small startups blossomed and started to contribute to the cause too. During this time, there was also a massive shift in consumer expectations. This always happens with new tech. Consumers saw how the more forward-looking, innovative companies were using these new tools to better respect them as people. They increasingly became unwilling to tolerate having to jump through hoops to talk to a person or being dumped into a ticketing system. In fact, interestingly, a study late last year showed that when a consumer reaches out to a business online, 2/3 of them expect a response in the same day, and over 40% expect a reply within an hour. This was not the case in 2010. These changes in consumer expectations are exposing now some real human limitations. These are thresholds that won't just go away. There are simple laws of biology that will prevent us from extracting more productivity from humans, and simple laws of economics that will prevent businesses from simply throwing more people at the problem. And so the benefits from this more personal way of connecting will start to wane if we can't break through these bottlenecks. We believe that bots are fundamental to solving this problem. Yes, they were hyped to death, nearly, about 2 years ago, and we were super cynical too. But the reality is, as we waited and watched, they now are starting to become useful. We believe that automation in the form of chatbots or just bots will make messaging and a conversational approach to business as transformative as phones and email and the World Wide Web. Bots have the potential to deliver radical efficiencies to sales and marketing and support teams. You could imagine how sales teams could use bots to have always on, always available, always consistent, infinitely easy to train reps available to talk to prospects. Or marketing teams could have tailored one-on-one white glove service bots that could hold the hand of users as they started to use your products. Or support teams could have bots to have people bots as the front line of defense to triage inbound inquiries or get more information or even solve the problems too. We built our first bot over a year ago and we called it Operator. And it was designed to grease the wheels between the humans on either end of the interaction. It could perform very simple tasks, like, for example, it could ask questions about the person reaching out to best route them to the right team in the organization. We built it in part as an experiment to see if this squishy, personal, loving company could get comfortable with these automated, icky things called bots. And it created some pretty understandable discomfort in the organization. We have a meeting across the company, an all-hands meeting, every 2 weeks. And I got a question earlier this year that said, if we're trying to make internet more personal, what are we doing building a bunch of bots? These questions had us think a little more about the motivation behind personal and had us try to better define it. Did personal mean people on the other end of the line, or was it more about what only people could do thus far? We started to define personal recently as treating the customer as an individual, respecting their time and dignity, and ultimately getting them to their ideal outcome. By this measure, we believe bots have a key role to play in being personal too. So we believe bots are here, and we think it presents you with 3 options. 1, you could do nothing. You could wait. You could ignore this, like you have to ignore so many fads and trends that have come and gone. We just don't think you should do that this time. We think that people who ignore the potential for automation will suffer the same fate as those who ignored the web. 2, you could check a box. There are some tools out there in the market today that offer some pretty big promises via automation. But they're designed with a short-term view. They're built to juice some local KPIs like emails captured or leads created. And they're creating some pretty crappy experiences for any customer who wants to do anything other than to talk to sales. We deeply believe that using bots in this way will be the hallmark of a shitty brand. The third option is to think a little bigger. Think a little longer term. Use bots across the entire customer lifecycle, not only to deliver great efficiencies for your business, but to massively improve the customer experience too. Providing you with this third option, allowing bots to accelerate growth at every stage in the lifecycle, is what we're dedicated to in this next chapter of our company. So let's actually talk product. We'd like to show you what we've been building for this future, and to do that, I'd like to welcome to the stage one of our product leaders, Matt Hodges.
Thanks, Owen. All right, tonight I'm going to talk about 3 core components of Intercom that are critical to this future we're building for. The first is the messenger. the primary channel that the world's fastest growing businesses are choosing to connect with their customers, because it's the channel that their customers want to connect with them. The second is our growing ecosystem of apps and integrations that help the sales, marketing, and support teams using Intercom get their jobs done faster and deliver a better customer experience at the same time. And the third is Operator, our first bot, that has since evolved to become the automation technology that powers our growing family of conversational bots. It works seamlessly with the Messenger and with these apps to automate workflows and help both your business and your customers achieve their desired outcomes. And I say growing family because, as Owen mentioned, we've got a brand new product to share with you tonight. But first, let's talk Messenger. We released the first business messenger back in 2011, and it's come a long way since. It now powers more than 500 million conversations every month. And we're always looking for ways to make it better and give you more flexibility and control in the ways that you can use it for your business. So we went back to first principles, and we looked at how you were using the messenger. And we found that 1 in every 7 of those 500 million conversations every month included a link to another business tool that you were using to book meetings or share knowledge base articles or even jump on video calls. And we thought, wouldn't it be better if you could do all of those things inside of the messenger? Wouldn't that be a better experience for everyone, not just for your teams, but also for your customers? So earlier this year, we released an entirely new Intercom Messenger. And for the very first time, business messaging is now way more than just chat. It has a completely new area called the Messenger Home, which acts like a front desk for your business. And you can customize what the visitors to your website see here, and separately, what the users logging into your product see, to help them achieve the fastest outcome, whether that's starting a conversation with your team or helping themselves. You can fill your Messenger Home with apps that let people do things like search your knowledge base, discover important news about your company, maybe an upcoming new product, sign up for a demo with your sales team, or subscribe to your marketing newsletter, and of course, start a conversation with your team. And we've loved seeing how our customers are customizing their messages and truly making them feel like their own. And the apps that they're using to encourage the right actions that make the most sense for their business, like Airtable, who are using the article search app so that people can help themselves. And Pinpoint, they're advertising new positions that they're actually hiring for right now using the Content Showcase app. And Discuss, who are surfacing the availability of their own product using the Status Page app. And you can find these and a library of more than 100 other apps on the Intercom App Store. And we've partnered with some of the best and most popular technology companies out there to ensure that Intercom works well with your existing tech stack and that your sales, marketing, and support teams can use Intercom in entirely new ways and streamline workflows. Your sales team can keep their customer data in sync with apps from Salesforce and HubSpot, which can automate the manual tasks that no one likes doing, like creating leads. And by connecting Intercom with Clearbit Reveal, you can choose which visitors on your website you want to be able to see the messenger so that your team can focus on only the highest value conversations. And when they're having those live conversations with valuable leads, they can accelerate things by inviting them to jump on a video or a voice call with apps from AirCall and Google Meet. And they can do that right inside the messenger. And those are just some of the apps available for sales teams. Let's take a look at some of the apps for marketing. Like the Typeform app, which you can use to send targeted surveys to people who've just signed up or made a purchase. They can complete those surveys right inside the messenger, which are going to drastically improve your completion rates and give you a much better understanding of your customers. There are also apps from Servercate and Ask Nicely and Wootrick, which will help you get way more responses to your Net Promoter Score surveys, because they can be sent inside of timely in-app messages to your most active users, like this one that I got a couple of weeks ago when I logged into Sunsama, a customer of ours. And what about support teams? This is one of my favorites. They can use apps from CoBrowse and Upscope and Median to invite customers to share their screen, to better troubleshoot an issue and accelerate a resolution. And those are just some of the 100+ apps available on the Intercom App Store, and we're adding more all the time. Here's a sneak preview at 3 apps that are coming to the App Store very soon. The first is from Pipedrive, which is going to help you keep your leads and conversations in sync. There's a new app from Calendly that's going to make it even easier for you to book meetings directly in the Messenger. And there's an app from Google Analytics that'll help you see how people are actually interacting with the Messenger, which is great for marketing attribution and reporting. And you can build your own apps too, apps that you can list publicly on the Intercom App Store, or private apps that are available to just your business. Everything you need to get started is available on the Intercom Developer Hub, and you'd be surprised at how easy it is to build an app. One of our partners, Coda, went from a concept on a whiteboard to a working app in a single week. Now, we've covered how the Messenger, thanks to apps, is so much more than just chat, but all this gets even more powerful when you add bots to the mix. When you combine the Messenger with apps and with Operator, you can create these entirely automated but personalized customer experiences that'll help you accelerate growth at every stage of the customer lifecycle. We're continuing to invest a lot in Operator and allow you to do even more with it with bots for sales, marketing, and support. As Owen mentioned, it was only a year ago that we released Operator, our first bot, and it's since evolved to become a set of task bots that can automate the manual tasks that your sales and support teams used to have to do. Instead, now they can focus on only the things that humans can do. There's a bot that automatically sets expectations based on your team's availability when people write in. There's another bot that will intelligently suggest help articles that might help resolve a problem while someone's waiting for a response. And there's a bot to help measure customer satisfaction right in the moment, as soon as your sales and support reps have closed conversations when people are most likely to respond. And those are just a few of the task bots that are included free with every paid subscription of Intercom. You've told us that Operator is helping save your sales and support teams a ton of valuable time, but you want to do even more with them. So earlier this year, in August in fact, we released custom bots, which allow you to create entirely customized chatbots that can proactively engage the right visitors on your website and then guide them down the right path to help them achieve the right outcome, both for you and for your business. So you could create a bot that proactively engages people on your pricing page that are from a specific industry and have shown some signal of intent. That might be the time spent on page, but it could be anything. It could be the ad campaign that they click through from, or the total number of visits to your site. It's completely up to you who your bots engage with and when. Your bot can then ask a simple set of questions to help you understand if this visitor is the right fit for your business. In this example, we're using team size as an indication of fit. The bigger the team, the better the fit. And all this data is captured in Intercom, and most importantly, your bot can take action on it, like help that lead with a larger team, book a demo with sales. And it does all this without anyone in your business having to lift a finger. You can create as many of these custom bots as you like, each with their own set of personalized paths for you to guide people down. And what's super powerful, something that we've seen no other bot builder allow you to do, is ensure that every lead has an actionable outcome, and then automate a set of follow-up actions that just happen seamlessly behind the scenes. One path might encourage leads that aren't a great fit to go and start a trial on their own, and then tag them so they're sent the nurture campaigns that you're sending via Marketo. For leads that are a better fit, your bot can automatically create them as a lead in Salesforce for you, and then directly route them to your sales team who can engage them in a live conversation and better understand their needs. It's easy to see how your custom bots are performing for your business with reports that show you how many people they're engaging and how many emails they're capturing and how many leads they're creating on your behalf. But they're not just useful for SaaS businesses. They're useful for any type of business, and this is one of my favorite examples. Here's a Volvo dealership over in Germany. It's a customer of ours, and they're using a custom bot on the homepage of their website to help new buyers get a quote and existing customers book a service appointment. That is actually what's happening here, and they're using that Typeform app that we saw before to help understand what car these new buyers want to buy. And we're already seeing that customers using custom bots are seeing 3 times the engagement rates. That's 3 times the engagement rate than those that are just using simple, targeted messages to engage the visitors to their site. And to further increase the likelihood of custom bots engaging the right visitors and then driving those right actions, we're giving you even more control over how your bots look and how they interact with the people visiting your site. For starters, just a few weeks ago in late September, we made it possible for you to customize operators' identity. Now you can give it its own name and custom avatar so it truly reflects your brand and feels like your own bot. And then tomorrow, we're releasing video bots out of private beta. They allow you to create even more personal and engaging experiences that help develop those relationships we know are so important to sustainable growth in the long term. Here's an example from one of our early adopters, Apply Pixels. They're using custom bots and video to welcome every new visitor to their site and then guide them down the right path based on what they're trying to achieve. Video is arguably the most effective medium to welcome people and create that instant human connection. And this is just the first of a series of steps towards making video available across the entire Intercom platform. We're really excited to see how you use it, especially as we expand the sets of things that you'll be able to use custom bots for in the future. Which begs the question, what's coming next for custom bots? Well, we've heard you loud and clear. You want to create custom bots that not only proactively engage the visitors on your website, but also those people once they sign up and start using your products and are logged into your products. And we're working on this right now. Here's an example of what you'll be able to do. Let's say you have a free plan that has a cap on the number of seats that people can add. You could create a custom bot that proactively engages people once they add their final free seat. It can find out how many seats they'll need in the future and see if they'd be a fit for your paid plan. If it's a smaller team and they're ready, great. Your bot can drive them to start a trial and send them some useful resources to help them get started before tagging them so they're added to the right nurture campaigns. Alternatively, if they're not ready just yet, you can invite them to register for your next webinar using the Zoom Webinars app, which they can complete right here in the Messenger, before tagging them and then closing the conversation for you. Now, these bots are also going to be useful for guiding new signups to pick the right plans and then personalizing their onboarding experiences based on what they're trying to do with your product. So that's custom bots for proactively engaging the people inside your products, and we'll have this in your hands by the end of the year. Last but not least, we know that custom bots can also be really valuable to help manage and triage your inbound support requests. And lots of you are asking for this, and our support team internally really wants it too. Here's an early look at how it could work. When a user starts a conversation with you inside your product, a bot can be there waiting for them. It can ask them to describe the nature of their request. In this case, someone's just having trouble getting set up. It can then ask them to provide some more details, like screenshots, to help describe the problem they're having, which will help your support team later once they do get to helping with the problem. It can even send relevant help articles that might resolve the problem while they're waiting for a human to respond. And once the user has sent over the details of their problem, the bot will set the expectation with them. It'll tag the conversation to help with your future reporting, and then automatically route the person to the right team or teammate that's going to be able to resolve their problem for them. Now, let's just say the user didn't have a problem, but instead had some product feedback, which happens all the time. No worries, the bot can handle that for you too. It can ask them to share that feedback using an app. In this case, we're using the Coder app available on the Intercom App Store. It'll send that feedback directly to your product team and then close the conversation for you. It's done. In both cases here, the customer gets their ideal outcome, and the support team accelerates the resolution to the problem. We're exploring multiple ways that custom bots can be used to help manage and triage inbound support requests. We're working on this now, and we'll have an update for you in the new year. So that's what's coming next for custom bots. Now on to what we're most excited to share with you tonight. We've been working on a brand new product for a full year, and it's been in private beta for the past few months. Based on the results we're seeing, we believe this product will fundamentally change the sales and support landscape. It's called AnswerBot, and it's the newest addition to our growing family. Cool. Thank you. It's so hard to come up with a name for this. I'm glad you like it. Anyway, this is the newest addition to our growing family of conversational bots powered by Operator. And using machine learning, it can instantly answer your customers' questions before your sales and support teams even see them. We love this product, and we think you will too. Based on the beta results that we're seeing, on average, AnswerBot can instantly resolve 29% of your most common customer questions and reduce your response time by 44%. With AnswerBot, you're going to see instant resolutions. Pretty awesome. These are real numbers, I promise. So with AnswerBot, you'll see instant resolutions, happier customers, and happier sales and support teams. And we've been using it ourselves for the past few months. Here we are on Intercom's website, and this is a question we get at least 20 times a week. Where do I find my invoice? Now, wouldn't it be great if we never had to answer this question again? Well, thanks to AnswerBot, we don't. It jumps in immediately and provides a precise answer, and then automatically closes the conversation. And as a result, we haven't had to answer this question for the last 3 months. So let's just take a moment to think about what happened here. Your customer's trying to get something done. Maybe they're trying to make a purchase, or find out the status of their order, or pay their bill. And they're blocked. So they reach out, and they're probably thinking they're not going to get a response for a while, and then they get an instant answer and an instant resolution to their problem. And your support team didn't have to do anything. So they're happy, your support team's happy. It's a win-win. Now, that was an easy question, I'll be honest. What about the times when you're asked questions when you don't really know what the customer's even asking, which happens all the time? Thankfully, AnswerBot can handle those too. No more back and forth trying to figure out what's being asked. AnswerBot is smart enough to work directly with the customer to hone in on their exact question before providing the right answer, and it can even send relevant help articles that can be viewed in the messenger to help the customer understand exactly what they need to do next. Now, let's say AnswerBot couldn't answer this question, which will happen. There's always an option to wait for your team and talk to a human. Unlike other bot products on the market, there is never a dead end for your customers when you're using Intercom. And that's so important because that's what builds trust and better relationships in the long term. Now, let's take a look at how this all works under the hood. We've built a best-in-class machine learning engine and combined that with an incredibly powerful but deceptively simple curation tool that automatically scans all of your Intercom conversations and helps identify the most commonly asked ones. Each of the colors that you see up on screen here represent a cluster of related questions. The bigger the cluster, the more common the question. And when you look at a cluster, what you'll see is that AnswerBot is smart enough to identify the same question that's just being asked in different ways by different people. So when you go to use AnswerBot for the first time, all of your commonly asked questions from your customers are going to be right there in Intercom, waiting for you to write answers to. So let's write an answer to this one. All right, let's do it now. OK, writing an answer to a question is as simple as writing a message. And you can control exactly what it says, so you're always on brand. And you can include links. You can include emoji. You can include images and GIFs. Basically, you can include anything that you need to provide the best answer to the customer's question. And just like you can do with messages and custom bots that we saw earlier, you can add apps to your answers. Apps that show people the status of their orders, help them book a demo with sales, subscribe to your marketing newsletter, or register for that next webinar. In this example, we'll insert a relevant help article that can be viewed right inside the messenger. Now, just imagine what you could do if you built your own apps. Maybe you could allow the customer to reset their password without having to leave the messenger in the first place. So we've got extensive reports that will show you exactly how many conversations it's instantly resolving on your behalf, and then how much time that's saving, not just for your customers, but also for your sales and support teams. So when can you start using AnswerBot? Tomorrow. You can add AnswerBot. Starting tomorrow, you can add AnswerBot to any paid subscription of Intercom, and we've got special introductory pricing. It starts at $49 a month, and it's free for your first 14 days. It's been saving a ton of time for our beta customers, like Clio, who are seeing AnswerBot instantly resolve 20% of all of their inbound conversations. And that's incredible because they get 2,600 conversations a month. We can't wait to see what AnswerBot will do for your business. So that's what we're building across the Messenger, App Store, and Operator. And we'll continue to improve them and make them work seamlessly together so you can accelerate growth at every stage of the customer lifecycle. Now, let's get Eoghan back up on stage to wrap things up.
Thank you, Matt. We're excited. It's so cool to see this thing evolve and to see it in action. We watch all the little conversations our little AnswerBot's been involved in, and it's working. It provides real value, and we're excited for you to all play with it and try it tomorrow. We believe that you can bet on us as the company to most quickly move in this automation space. We've dramatically accelerated product development over the past 12 months, nearly doubling our R&D teams. In fact, now a whole third of the company works in research and development, which is really big for a company at our stage. During this time, we've shipped 102 new major features and improvements. And I did the math, that's 2 a week. That's a ton of work. But while innovating on sexy things like video and building a bunch of new bots, please know that actually the majority of our time and energy is putting to maturing the products you already use and trust and adding the sophistication you need. In fact, recently, a lot of the work has been shipping your biggest requests, things like Messenger visibility. Now you can decide who sees the Messenger and when. Conversation tag reports. You can see the trends in your conversations. Revenue reports. You can see, does Intercom indeed pay for itself like we promised that it does? We're now also SOC 2 Type 2 compliant, which is something I never thought I'd be so excited to shout about on a stage, but is increasingly important for the bigger companies we're selling to. And we just shipped in beta pointer messages, which I've wanted for about 7 years, and so have our customers, which means that when you send a message in Intercom, you can reach out and point to specific parts of the app, and it's going to be so useful to help onboard new customers into your products. As Matt showed you, we're already starting to make pretty great strides in building operator bots for each stage of the customer lifecycle. And in the quarters and years ahead, we're going to continue to fill out all of those stages. We believe automation is going to transform business-to-customer communication. We think it'll upend industries and make new kings in them. We've studied our history, and we believe through no great malice that people will tend to use these things with a short-term view, much to the detriment of the consumer and the business in the long run. But we know it doesn't have to be so. And not only do we intend to lead the industry in the development of these tools, but to do so the right way, with the very natural inclination we've had from the start to help our customers achieve faster growth through better relationships with theirs. The platform we've started to work on for our first chapter to let people work together to connect with our customers in this new personal way will work seamlessly with the automation tech we're now betting on in this next chapter. This will place Intercom uniquely as the only platform to help growth in sales, marketing, and support teams, and that lets bots and humans work side by side. And so, I'll end by saying thank you to all of you who have supported us over the years. Thank you for your love. You've motivated and inspired us. Thank you also for your patience as we have messed up. I hope you will join us in this next chapter, and I hope you will join me for a drink in the lobby. Our co-founder, Des, is also here, a bunch of our exec staff. We've also got a bunch of demo booths. We'd like to show you all this fun stuff. But for now, thank you and good night.